A very good evening. Today is episode number 56 and we're on the 15th of June. 15th of June. Today's Monday, the beginning of the week. And this is Rugen Trades with a segment, probably I'll call it Talk Stock. So every Monday, I plan to do a review of a couple of charts. Most will probably be some of the stocks I'm holding or some positions I'm holding, and I'm going to cover a couple of Bursa stocks, a couple of US stocks. I'm going to talk about Bitcoin, and I'm going to talk about gold. Now, why am I doing it every Monday now? Because if you've been following my videos, I look at charts weekly. I look at weekly charts and I look at charts weekly. So I'm not impacted by swings of daily moves. So Monday is a good time because I will have the closing price of the previous week and I will have the opening price of the start of the week. Of course, we're doing this in the evening. Now we can only see the pre-market movement for US, but nevertheless, this will be a good time for me to cover it. So Talk Stock. A quick disclaimer first. This is a personal sharing only, so please do not take this as trading advice. I do not give any buy, sell or hold recommendation for any of the equities or stocks that I talk about. So please do your own research before you make any trading or investment decisions, because everybody's trading risk tolerance is different. And I would suggest, if you really need professional advice, go look for a licensed advisor. I am not one. So this is purely just for sharing and entertainment purposes. I am Rugen Trades, a professional swing trader. And I've been in the corporate line for about 30 years now. I'm a part-time swing trader and trying to balance my 9 to 5 professional day job with a swing trading persona, if you would call that. And I trade mainly on the Bursa and the US stock market, and my holding periods are usually weeks to months. So that is who I am. So if you have the same type of profile, you like to hear what other swing traders are doing, well, this channel is for you. Let's dive straight into the charts. Now I've got a couple of charts I want to talk about. The first one is Dufu, which I've covered earlier. I have a position here, so full disclaimer, I have a position in Dufu, and this is my custom indicator, which I call a market structure, which is based on a weekly time frame. For this particular stock, I put the time frame, the look back range, as 5 years. So it's pretty cool. I built this all using Claude. So Claude helped me code in PineScript to put this into TradingView. It even have this start end date. So, but the key theory is this: if the company that you are interested to invest or trade has a good financial performance, have good market outlook, so basically you have your own criteria of gauging a particular company. Each of us is different. So for me, Dufu is on a very surface level. It's, to me, a very undervalued stock because it was heavily discounted up until here, just below 1 ringgit, and price beginning to have a bit of a change of character right here from 88 all the way to 224, and it came back for a pullback, and that is when I recently entered a position at 175. And if you zoom in, my theory is simple. If it is an undervalued stock, at the minimum it should hit back at the balance price point, which in this case will be here, 286. So this is my target, and notice how 286 is somehow becoming the support here, the resistance here, and if you are a bit more bullish, you would even target around 3 ringgit plus for Dufu. If you zoom in to last 2 weeks was brutal. This was the movement. It went up to 214. It came back down to 181. So this was a pretty big move in itself. Almost about 16%. Over 2 weeks, 16%. So if you are weekly, if you are like me, you look at the charts weekly, this is not such a big move, because you see these were the big moves down here. This was a big move. The last 2 weeks, although it was a drop, but still not enough to derail my plans. So this morning at the open, it gapped up. This was the close last week. It gapped up here and continued to hold this price. So if market condition begins to be bullish, we're looking at easily 224 and above. So Dufu for me right now is still at a good price at discount, where I'm targeting this area right here. The next one is I've got WellChip. Now WellChip is a relatively new stock. Was it 2 years? No, it was 18 months. Yep. WellChip is a pawnbroking company, and pretty much the movement has been quite tight to price of gold. And using my same indicator, the balance point is right here. So I made recently, last week, I made an entry here. I made an entry right at the bottom somewhere here. My cost was 117. I'm still at the losing end of the trade, but I bought at deep discount. So I'm targeting at least this area, again to this area, for a positive move. Gold, which it has tied to relatively strongly. Gold also make a move today. This is the gold chart. If you look at this, this is the midpoint price, again using the midpoint as a support in this instance. And today, Monday, it has already, the open high low close has already indicated that maybe there's a potential to move back to the 4,005 to 4,006 price range for the upcoming week. So that serves quite well for me for WellChip. Another stock that I have a position, and this one I would probably change it to 5 years. This is a stock that is also in deep discount. For me, I like this company because it's in the EV space here in Malaysia, electric vehicle. It is into manufacturing batteries, if I'm not mistaken, and also recently assembly of EV vehicles for some car brands. So price have been selling off all the way here, where it found this support right here, and still a deep discount. And the midpoint, if you see, it is showing a very nice support here and then turn to resistance here. And again, it is a 50% mark. So why I bought into this EPMB is the risk reward is favorable for me. So even if you cut loss here, this range versus the potential upside here, to me it is quite very attractive. That's why I have a position in EPMB. So moving along, Oracle, this was one of my biggest position right now. Last 2 weeks was brutal. Look at these are weekly charts, remind you again, and the brutal drop, almost 30% over 2 weeks. So has it found its bottom? Who knows? This morning the pre-market is at 189, 190. We will see how price reacts. At the moment it's still a discount, so for me again, this area is a nice area to start to take profit. In fact, I entered around 150 plus. I've been taking profits all the way until 240, and when price came down I added my position again. So let's see what happens this week for Oracle. Nike, is it a true rebound story finally? Who knows? But again, I like the fact that it is heavily discounted and the midpoint is clearly defined right here at 110. It started to consolidate, and let's see what happens after this. If price goes back to at least 80. So again, the risk reward is favorable. So cut loss can be somewhere this small range right here, and take profit can be somewhere here. So the risk reward is again very favorable. Netflix, another stock which I have a position. Now is at a premium. So if I'm looking at the balance point here as the support, because to me it has created a new price range. I think probably unless a big negative news comes in, price may sell off down here. But let's see what happens for the next couple of weeks, whether it will retest the highs at 134. So I'm still quite bullish about Netflix. And finally, Bitcoin. I've been waiting to enter position in Bitcoin. I have allocated a very small amount, and I've made an entry today to enter into Bitcoin through a platform here in Malaysia called Luno. So for me, it is I'm actually quite 50-50 about the trade, but seeing now it has already gone through 1, 2 and the third down move here, so there's a possibility I'm expecting price to reach back at least to the 100,000 price point. I made an entry just today, so let's see what happens. And I like the way the price, the opening and the closing right here is just about them, and showing this green bar that's building up. Let's see whether there's a repeat of September 24. And yeah, that's a couple of charts that I have to run through this Monday. It's a Monday evening here in Malaysia. And yeah, that's all I have to share. And if you notice how I'm doing my videos nowadays, I'm just going to take one recording, one shot, no editing, inspired by one of our YouTubers here in Malaysia that covers cars. And his style is also one recording without editing, and that actually saves a lot of time in terms of spending time just perfecting the video. But I'm more interested in getting the content out there. So that's all. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed, do leave me a comment what other stocks you like to look at, and also give me a like, thumbs up, share with your friends, and if you like to subscribe, it will help my channel. It will help me keep doing videos like this every week. Thank you. Bye bye.